He said it because of his wet blanket energy.
Unhinged. That's actually unhinged.
Hey guys, welcome to She's All Batch. I'm Stefanie.
And I'm Jackie.
And this is our first ever full video episode.
Woo! Okay, like I feel like we look good.
I mean,
guys, sound off in the comments below if we look good or not. Except don't.
Please
because,
don't.
Like, we're going to get so many mean comments being like, you idiots, you look so bad. But I feel like we look amazing. Guys, the amount of time and money we have invested in the past, like, weekend, I would say. We got the lights, we got the cameras, we got the mics. Well, we already had the mics, but now we have the mic stands so we can like sit here. Like,
right.
Look how professional this looks.
I know. Okay, professional.
I know. This is a whole new era of She's All Batch. We're so excited to now be able to be on YouTube so you guys can actually like watch us interact. Because I feel like we have so much fun when we're recording and when we're chatting. But it like adds to the experience if you can like see us and see our reactions.
Totally. So what we ask of you now is that obviously you're subscribed via podcast, wherever you listen to your podcast, but also subscribe here. You will be getting notifications when we drop episodes, and you're only going to get those notifications if you are subscribed. So like this video and subscribe, and more is to come. Today, we're going to be getting into the recap of Joan's season, and a little bit later, we're going to touch on the Devin Bombshell that we didn't get to touch on because Reality Steve dropped that news after our sound off episode was already recorded. Story of our lives. So that we'll get to that a little bit later, but let's get to Joan.
I have a confession to make. You know how we were texting right before and you were like, oh, are you watching right at 8 or are you able to watch like a little bit later? And I was like, I'm watching on my mom's Fubo, so I get to watch a little bit later and fast forward through commercials. Forgot to record. I forgot to like literally record it though. So like, because I thought it was automatically recorded because I always have them automatically recorded, but Golden Bachelorette is obviously like a different series than The Bachelorette.
Oh my God.
So I thought it was already recorded, but it wasn't. So I missed the first 10 minutes. I shamefully have to admit.
Wow.
And I didn't have time this morning to like rewatch it because we had so much to do with all the camera stuff. But I don't think I missed that much.
No, you didn't miss that much. It was really just, I could catch you up.
Yeah, please do.
I will say, I feel like Joan's premiere was like a cleanse that we needed after the dumpster fire that was Jen's finale.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Wholesome way.
Yeah, no, I mean like there was no drama. There was no real anything messy going on. And coming from Jen's season and what happened at the end, and then all of the other Devin stuff that has since come out, I feel like I have whiplash, but in a good way. Like my neck feels good.
Oh, good. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
You don't need to go to the chiropractor.
Yeah, no,
but like,
not today.
I agree with you. And I do like Golden for that reason. I will say though, then like, don't make it 2 hours. If you're going to give me a 2 hour like opening, you need to give me some drama. Like it was too wholesome, but like I can only have wholesome for 1 hour, I think.
Right. There's only so much wholesome we can take.
Right.
In one sitting. I feel like there needs to be a compilation of every time Jackie complained about the length of the show.
Well,
I feel like every single episode.
Shorten the show. You want me to like, and I don't mean to always be like hating on it, but it's just like when there's no drama and I'm literally just watching Jack like cook an amazing steak with like bordelaise sauce and all the stuff, which is like amazing. Love.
See,
that
I thought
for
you would like that part.
But I didn't sign up for the cooking show. Like this is
isn't the
reality
Cooking Network.
Television, prime time.
It seems like this is going to be a season focused on love, which is not what we're used to. But I think for Joan and I think for these guys, it's what's best.
Do you think she's going to end up engaged?
Yes.
They're kind of like hinting at that like she will start feeling guilty and like not be over her.
No, she's engaged. I know it. I mean, I don't know it. So in terms of frontrunners, I really like Dan, and I kid you not, Psychic Stefanie at the rose ceremony, she's standing there. It's the music. Everyone's standing there. I say out loud, my husband's next to me in my bedroom. I go, Dan. She goes, Dan. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Nailed it. Ooh. I knew that he was going to get the first rose. He's top 4, 100%.
Interesting. Which one is Dan again?
He's the one. Okay. So he is the one who is a girl dad. However, when Keith got the first impression rose, his lower third said girl dad. And I'm like, ABC, no. There's too much.
We can't have more than one girl dad.
I understand
they
are technically both girl dads, but if you're going to paint Dan as the guy that cries every time he talks about his daughters, like I get Keith has daughters too. We got to pick one.
Yeah.
Or don't do either.
About girl dads though? Like,
sure.
Why are we calling people girl dads and not just like dads? It's giving girl boss too. It's like, can't you just be a boss who happens to be a girl? Can't you just be a dad who happens to be a dad of girl? Like, why is girl dad different from dad? of any child.
I think it's just dads that like to highlight the fact that they have daughters. But I think you make a better point with girl boss.
Having daughters like makes them different dads than they would be if they were dads of boys.
I only have a boy, so I don't know, but I would imagine that raising a daughter is a different experience than raising a son. So maybe it's
of course different, but we never say boy dad. Why aren't we saying boy dad?
I think there's boy mom. I think there's the phrase boy mom. It's not nearly as popular as girl dad.
Why is it boy mom and girl dad? What's up with that Oedipus complex there?
Yeah, well, what you made a better point when you said girl boss. There's no boy boss. So are you implying that girls can't be
the term girl?
Like,
I hate
that's actually
the term
pretty
girl
fucked up.
boss because it's like like. So you're implying when you say boss, it has to be, we're just going default, it's boy. So girl boss is like something that's like different and special when like anyone can be a boss. Guys, in case you didn't know, anyone can be a boss. But this is not like a let me get on my soapbox podcast.
So who do you like?
Okay, my shout outs are, first off, I had to shout out Jack because we one have the same name, and two,
you just made fun of him, but okay.
Well, because I didn't need like the bordelaise sauce, but I really liked his entrance because he walked in singing, and I'm like, okay, not only do we share a name, we also share an entrance, because I always think if I was gonna be on The Bachelor, first off, we know like I would get sent home night one because they would expose this podcast, and that would be like the drama. But at least my episode would have drama. That would be the drama of the episode.
Right.
Is that
you'd be like, you're welcome, America.
Is here for the wrong reasons because she has a Bachelor podcast, and that would be me. But so I would really need to make the most of my 15 minutes of fame. And so I would enter in also singing just to be like, all right, I'm going home, but at least I sang on national television once. So I shout out to Jack. I didn't appreciate the cooking, even though I'm sure Joan did.
I appreciated the cooking. It was reminding me of Susan. Oh, Jackie, did it not remind you of Susan? And what did she make? Meatballs, chicken piccata. Oh, maybe honestly, when Jack doesn't win, because I'm sorry, he doesn't win. I really like him. Maybe he can get with Susan if Susan breaks up with her boyfriend from Marshall's. Is she still with him?
Oh, that's a really interesting question.
We got to check in with Susan. Or maybe when they go on Golden Paradise, they can link up because they have a love for cooking.
Right. Well, they have the what's the Golden Hour with Kathy and Susan? Does anyone listen to that?
I don't think anyone. Well, I'm sure someone here watching has listened, but yeah, I don't. But Jack will probably go on it. So you're right. That's when they can meet, and then they can make like meatball, whatever,
meatball marinara. I was gonna like, how do you combine meatballs and chicken piccata? But I don't think you do. I think those are two separate dishes. Also, okay, Chalk, is Chalk his name?
I don't know, but I love him.
Yeah, no, I think he's a big front runner for me. He's someone I specifically called out in my notes. I think it was like really telling and interesting that they both had the same sense of like adventure. The fact that Joan was like, yeah, I really want to go on a safari, and he's like, yeah, I went on a safari, but you can come next time because I loved it. I was like, what are the chances of that? You guys need to be watching Chalk. He was one of my favorites for sure, and I think he's maybe also top 4.
I think he's top 4 as well. Wait, I thought he didn't just say he just went on a safari. I thought he said he has one planned, like for next year, and said she can come. Which I'm like, even better.
He liked it so much that he's going
again.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's enough time to add Joan in. I also liked when he brought the chicken noodle soup, and he's like, on our hometown date, I can make it for your family. Chalk.
I love Chalk.
So many of them have interesting names, which I really liked.
What do you think Chalk is short for? Because no, it does not say Chalk on his birth certificate.
Chalkathon, probably.
Yes.
Speaking of that, though, it's going to be really difficult to say Jonathan the correct way this season, because I think this Jonathan is going the distance. I could tell. I see, if not top 4, top 6 with Jonathan. Do you remember Jonathan?
Yeah,
he wrote her the poem on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
Either he wrote it in his mind or he wrote it on the spot. I'm not sure. But, having Jonathan spelled the correct way, I'm not prepared. But we have Greg with 2 G's, unusual.
2 G's at the end?
Mm-hmm. Which is like, does that mean you spell Gregory, Greggory? Like your parents?
I do think that is what it means, because otherwise, why would there be 2 G's?
Right, you can't just
trying to be
extra.
unique.
Well, I told you about someone I know that spelled Jackie, Jaki, and I'm like, okay, sit down. Calm yourself.
But at least that has one of, like, there's no double letters in that. It's not like Jakii. That would be like, all right, calm down.
Yeah, but she didn't spell it like Jacqueline with a K.
You can't put like an I at the end of your name just to like be fun. Like, Stefanie, if you spelled your name like Stefani without
people do spell it that way.
I know they do, but it's like, what are you trying to prove?
Okay, my issue is not the Stefanis of the world. It's people that spell it with an E at the end and then just write it with an I at the end. I know someone named Lauren that spells it like the R-E-N way, and she just randomly started spelling it with R-Y-N at the end. I'm like, that's not how you spelled it, though, last week. We're getting off topic.
That's someone who really needs to, like, look inward and be like, you're special and unique on your own.
So, I mean, I think Greg is not, I think he must be spelling his name the way his parents
the way
him the
it
name.
was written on his birth certificate.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a quick break. You guys are going to want to check out Dame.com. Dame is all about redefining sexual wellness by creating products that prioritize your pleasure and comfort.
Yes, and one of their best sellers is Eva, the world's first hands-free couples vibrator. So it nestles comfortably in place with flexible wings, leaving your hands free for literally everything else. It is the perfect way to enhance partner play without it getting in the way of anything. And they also have Palm, which is another one of their best sellers, which fits in the palm of your hand with a soft, flexible body that bends to your needs. And if you're looking for something a little bit more subtle, they have Fin, which is a tiny finger vibe that adds a new twist to the touch you already know and love. Lots of good options for whatever you need.
Geez. And Dame products are made with 100% body-safe materials, and they offer a 3-year warranty on all of their Vibe products. So you can get 30% off your first purchase by going to Dame.com. That's DAME.com, and using code She'sAllBatch at checkout. Again, that's 30% off these amazing sex toys, guys, at Dame.com with code She'sAllBatch. Trust us, it's worth it.
Okay, you guys know I'm obsessed with Liquid IV already, and it has 5 times the daily value of vitamin C and 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. So I always make sure that after a night of drinking, I have a Liquid IV on my nightstand, and honestly, I always wake up feeling great.
It's also really great to have after a workout. Liquid IV is actually scientifically formulated to quickly replenish the electrolytes and fluids lost from sweat and exercise. So 1 stick plus 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone, so you can turn your ordinary water into extraordinary hydration. Plus, they have so many amazing flavors to choose from. We've told you guys about them. You can get transported to the tropics with Liquid IV's new Hydration Multiplier Plus Immune Support Mango Passion Fruit. Yum.
Yes, yum. I literally also love the lemon lime, the white peach, the strawberry lemonade. Honestly, all the flavors. They also have one that tastes like the firecracker popsicle. If you know, you know. And it's always non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, and soy-free. So support everyday wellness with Liquid IV. You can get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code She'sAllBatch at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code She'sAllBatch at liquidiv.com. LIQUIDIV.com. Can we talk about Kelsey's dad?
Yes, we can.
What do you think about him?
I mean, are you kidding me? They're setting him up to be the Golden Bachelor, and I'm fine with it. He's so cute. So I'm fine with it. I think he has to be top 4. I think they're going to make sure he goes home 3rd or 2nd.
Yeah, I kind of don't like all of the special treatment he's getting, and how are the men not more like mad about it? And maybe they will be like down the line, but it does seem like he goes far. I think there was a clip of Joan, like, I mean, not to like believe the promo, because like, let's be for real, but was there not a clip in the promo of her saying she loved Kelsey's dad?
Did you not see where they were sitting though? They were in the mansion.
Not really. It was so fast. Oh.
So I'm like, is that next week?
I love you that fast?
No. So it could be like her being like, oh my God, I love you, Mark. Like, I don't know. I that's in my notes too. I'm like, you love him. First of all, we're not dumb. You would never put it in the promo if it was going to give something serious away.
Yeah.
And they were sitting in the mansion. So
I just think it's like a little unfair for all the other guys.
When he's like, Joan, you have 1 extra special limo coming your way. And he comes out like
Kelsey's there. It's like
Joan really liked him though. She said to Kelsey after, like, just call me mom. Like, ooh, Joan. Another guy I really like is Kim. He is the retired Navy captain. Mm-hmm. I feel like, honestly, it's really difficult because there's so many great guys in this cast, and I think all of them are going to be in the top 4, which is such a change of scenery from Jen's season, where like there was a lot of guys that weren't deserving that made it to the top 4. Not you, Jonathan, but everyone else.
Right. No, there's a lot of people with like really interesting stories. And if they didn't have an interesting story, they at least had like a very interesting like limo entrance. Like remember RJ, who was like, are you looking for a man in finance with a retirement fund, 6'5", blue eyes? I was like, that's so cute that he did that. Obviously,
RJ?
like yeah.
Are we sure?
He was the guy who said he was a man in finance. Do you know that the entrance I'm talking about?
So I don't know that one actually. I don't.
That's okay. That's okay. We don't need to memorize every single entrance. We're just girls. But I did appreciate that. Although now that I'm like saying it out loud, I'm like, he doesn't have TikTok. He doesn't know what that is.
That's not true, Jackie. Don't do that again.
I know.
There could be old. My mom has
already
TikTok.
On episode 1 of the recap of the Golden Bachelorette. We're gonna get yelled at.
I wrote, like maybe he's a girl dad and his daughters told him. It's not that crazy.
Or a boy dad.
True. I wrote in my notes, I'm surprised Gary didn't come out of the limo to wish her luck, missed opportunity. And then he comes. I hear that Winnie the Pooh voice in the trailer and I got so excited.
I know. Do you think they're going to address the Teresa of it all?
No.
Like even just in one sentence, like him being like, or Joan being like, hey, where's Teresa?
Joan's be like, wow, that was months ago. I know exactly where Teresa is. She's not in, where did he live? Didn't she like not want to move?
Indiana.
Yeah, she's not in Indiana.
In New Jersey.
Right. At her job.
Which
remember
also
her job?
Like, yeah, and it's so funny to me that they wanted us to believe that the reason why they got divorced is because of her job when she's like on the brink of being retired. Come on. Yeah. Who else was really interesting too? Oh, Pascal, the French guy who was a salon owner. I thought he's not top 4 or not even top 6, honestly. But like it just goes to show like a lot of these guys have like really interesting stories. And I do think it just goes with like the whole golden theme, right? Like you have people who have like fully lived lives and they have like careers and they're like at the top of their game, but you know what I mean, like they've like built lives for themselves. And I think it's such a contrast to like the actual show where everyone's like 22 just like starting out. Like the fact that he like moved from Paris and he like owns a salon, like that's really interesting to like hear all these people's backstories.
Right. No, everyone had a good story. I texted you and I was like, I feel like I know so many of their names. I know so many of their stories. It's just where you get so much deeper on this show than you do on the regular show. Totally. Another guy we're sleeping on right now who's definitely going far. I know I've said so many people are going to the top 4. This guy's definitely going top 4. Guy. She really likes him. He was the one that sprayed the cologne and then she had to smell it. I wouldn't have been able to appreciate that because I can't smell anything, but I'm sure it smelled great. Right. And he was cute.
But it's like, what is with these names? Guy, a guy named Guy.
You've like
never
his
heard of
parents
the name Guy? Really were not getting creative. They were like, he's a boy. I guess we'll just name him Guy.
Guy is like, you don't know you don't know anyone in the world named Guy. That's like, it's a name. Really? This is the first time you ever heard it?
The only time I ever heard it was when we called someone Guy as a joke because we didn't know his name. So we
like,
called him Guy.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone's like having a baby pop out of them and is like, you know what? Guy. Is it short for something?
It's a
Guy-a-thon.
Guy-a-thon. Yeah. No, it's a lovely name. And Jackie, this is our first full episode on YouTube. We've already insulted the Laurens, the Gregs, the guys.
We didn't insult all the Laurens. We only insulted the Laurens that add Ys.
No, because I have a friend named Lauren with a Y who's watching. Hey, girl. That's how she really spells it. Well, she really spells it that way. That's not my issue. My issue is when your name is spelled differently and then you just throw a Y in for fun. That's my problem.
Right. So she's a true Y Lauren.
In which case, fair game.
Totally.
Oh my God, Charles L. He's so wholesome. He was going through the kitchen, checking out the refrigerator, checking out the pots and pans. Like, we don't usually get an inside look at these rooms in the Bachelor Mansion, but leave it to these men to really inspect what's going on. Like, have they ever like opened the fridge and let us see in? It was like MTV Cribs.
Yeah, it was kind of giving though. Like, all right, we got to fill the space. How about you go around and show us all the pots and pans in the kitchen, like ready to go?
I would follow Charles L. into any room in that mansion and let him give me a tour.
Yeah.
He is the sweetest man. And like, I feel like he got one of the last roses last night because I was watching on the edge of my seat and I'm like, I dare you, Robert Mills. I dare you to send that man home. We will riot. And he didn't.
I know, that was stressful.
Who got the last rose was Jack, who was wearing the salmon jacket from Hannah Brown season. He must have gotten it from Tyler.
Yeah. I am worried for Jack, but even though like he's my man, he's just like simply not making it that far.
Jack's gonna like jump in the hot tub naked at 3 in the morning. Like he seems like he brings that kind of vibe, which I'm here for. Definitely first few episodes, I'm Team Jack. He actually reminds me, you're not the biggest Jersey Shore fan, but you know Uncle Nino, Vinny's uncle, his drunk uncle.
Yes.
That he reminds me of Jack a lot.
Also, wait, Bob, the chiropractor who died for 12 minutes when he got struck by lightning, and then they did CPR. That's insane.
Can we get more time on Bob, please? I that's in my notes too. I'm like, wait, you literally got struck by lightning
and then died
for
12 minutes. I have so many questions for him. I really need
we got to get Bob
podcast.
on the pod. So, like, it seems like there's no bad guys in the bunch just yet. Usually by night one, we would see if there's someone.
But I wonder if we're not going to get that. Like,
I don't
this
think
season.
we are.
Because also, too, like, what was even the big drama of Gary's season? It was like a little bit of the Teresa, Kathy stuff, but even that was like pretty tame and wholesome at the end of the day. And by the time it was the women tell all, they were friends again.
I mean, I don't really necessarily want to see these guys fight. Maybe the drama could be something else. Surprise me, Robert Mills. All right, guys. So if you haven't tried a Blissy pillowcase yet, I kindly ask you, what are you doing? I've been waking up so hot in the middle of the night. Literally last night, I woke up sweating, but my pillowcase stays cool the entire night, which I love. They're also super easy to wash and maintain. Plus, they have a zipper, which keeps your pillow in place. And I didn't realize how convenient that was until I started using the Blissy pillowcase. Blissy Silk is the best thing you could do for your hair and your skin. It reduces frizz, tangles, and even prevents thinning. It also can help prevent blemishes and the appearance of fine lines. And you can see in today's YouTube video that is all true.
Okay,
tell us that we look great in the comments.
Yes, and the material is moisture wicking, so it keeps your skincare products on your face, unlike cotton and satin, which absorbs the products, which is amazing. Obviously, we don't want to waste product. And guys, the holiday season will be here before you know it. And Blissy pillowcases really are the perfect gift for the entire family, including little ones. They have colors and patterns that match every aesthetic and collaborations with brands like Minions, Harry Potter, and more on the way. Great for stocking stuffers, grab bag gifts, white elephants, all of the things. I didn't realize they had like Minions and Harry Potter themed ones. That's kind of fun.
I know. Well, we know that they also have, don't they have a Wicked one too? Or is that coming?
A Wicked
TBD?
one is coming. Yeah, guys, and we're in talks to promote the Wicked one.
Jackie really wants the Wicked pillowcases, obviously.
Right.
Yes. And Blissy's been featured on Good Morning America, The View, Live with Kelly and Mark, and it's dermatologist recommended. Everybody loves them. Literally, everyone I know. And they have over 2 million fans, and you could be next. And because you're a She's All Batch listener, Blissy is offering 60 nights risk-free plus an additional 30% off when you shop at blissy.com/batch30. So head over to blissy.com right now. That's BLISSY. Use code batch30 at checkout, and that's going to get you 30% off plus 60 nights risk-free. Go get the pillowcases. Try them for 60 nights. Literally, what's the worst that can happen? You have the best night's sleep ever? Yeah, I thought so. So blissy.com/batch30. You're welcome.
Okay, let's take a minute and talk about Honey Love. I have so many weddings coming up this next year, but I have one coming up in a few weeks, and I'll definitely be wearing my Superpower short from Honey Love under my dress. What I love about the Superpower short is it doesn't suffocate my curves. It actually has targeted compression technology that distinguishes between areas where you want more support and areas where you need less compression. So it's designed to work with your body, not against it. And I love how it looks under dresses, just like so silky smooth.
I also love that it's a booty lifter though. They have these things called boost bands that go on the back of the thigh and it literally lifts your butt. Girls, if you're listening right now and you want like an apple-shaped booty, you're gonna have to check out the Superpower short. Plus, it has a convenient opening in the panty area, which makes going to the bathroom super easy. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've had to like pull on and pull off annoying shapewear in the bathroom. No, not here. You literally can go right through it. Not literally through it. You know what I mean, though.
Right. No, we do. But it doesn't stop there. Honey Love has more than just sculptwear. They also have incredibly comfortable bodysuits, bras, tanks, and leggings for everyday support. So their products make you look good and feel good.
So treat yourself to the best bras and shapewear on the market and save 20% off at honeylove.com/she'sallbatch20. Use this exclusive link to get 20% off. Type in the full link, honeylove.com/she'sallbatch20. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard from them. Tell them that your girls sent you. That's HONEYLOVE love.com/she'sallbatch20. Okay, so at the rose ceremony, she definitely was struggling because she felt really guilty sending people home. It's the first time she's ever had to do it. Something that stuck out to me, she said, if you leave tonight, you've already won, by basically showing the world that, you know, you're in this stage of life and you're still going after love. And it was really sweet to watch. And I don't know, I can relate to how she feels. Well, no, not literally. I've never been the Golden Bachelorette, but you know what I mean?
Yes. No, I do know what you mean. And it also just like is a shame. And I think Joan, it goes back to like these leads also being like more mature after living a lot of life experience. Like I think she just knows, like, you know, just because we didn't connect night one doesn't necessarily mean that like these guys that I'm sending home aren't also great. It's kind of a shame. And do you ever wonder sometimes, and I think about this a lot, like do you think there would ever be a lead where it's like they don't send home anyone on night one and they actually let them do that? Because sometimes I'm like, that would actually be better to let everyone stay a little bit and then you can actually like get to know people. I know you can't, it's a show and like you have to send people home, but what if it was just for night one, we meet everyone and we actually give people time to like chat? Because usually I feel like the people that go home night one are either like, sure, maybe there's literally no connection, but sometimes it's just like you just didn't get a chance to talk, or you talked for literally 5 minutes and got off on the wrong foot.
Right. Or you're not used to talking to someone for the first time with a camera crew and lighting and producers 2 feet away from you.
No, exactly.
I think, and especially for the Golden series, I think they could probably benefit from that. Also, what happened to them potentially only casting people in the lead cities? Like, I feel like had they done that for Gary, things would have ended up a little different. They should do what Love is Blind does, because I don't know, is Joan really going to move across the country? Is she going to move to France to be with Pascal? Right. Does he live in France right now? I don't know. No,
he lives in Chicago, but he's from Paris.
Got it. Okay.
But he did say they would go there like a lot. And he was low-key kind of bragging about how much money he has, which I thought was like a little tacky. He was like, yeah, I've done very well for myself. I literally can do whatever I want. We can go to Paris for a few days casually. And it's like, love that for you. Like, that's everyone's dream. But like, maybe say it differently.
But also maybe just go bring him to hometown so you can get a free trip to Paris.
But do you think his hometown would be in Chicago or Paris?
I don't know. I would like it to be in Paris. If I were Joan, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to bring you to hometowns, but you're going to have to bring me to the Eiffel Tower.
That's where the hometown is going to be, at the top of the Eiffel Tower.
Right. So Jack got the last rose, which, like I said, I think, you know, his days are numbered. He's going to be here for comedic relief. I think Jack and Pascal are both kind of like, not the floaters. I don't think they're going to be far enough to be floaters. Who do you think is going to be a floater? Like a Jeremy floater?
That's a good question. Let me look through my notes.
Well, all my notes are just the guys that like I really
but like I could see Bob being a floater.
Jackie, I was just going to say Bob.
Okay, psychic.
I mean, guys, it's really scary. I'm not even kidding.
Guys, it actually is true. I talked about this when we talked about going to Vegas, but guys, Stefanie is psychic. Like, she kind of cleaned up at the roulette table, and she wouldn't let me talk to her. Like, the way you stand there and you're like channeling into the superpower and you're just like quietly with your chips going toot, toot, toot.
I'm
and
like,
then you win. And then someone spilled a drink on the table and you're like, the vibes are bad. We gotta go. We can't keep doing this. And like, you knew when to get out.
Did I ever tell the story on the podcast where I mean, do you know that I was like robbed that night though? Like, have I ever like made that?
I don't know if we said it on the podcast or not.
I don't think we did.
I think
guys,
someone took a chip out of your purse. Yeah.
A chip? No. I was
but
just
like
talking to my husband.
chip or something.
Oh yeah. I was just talking to my husband about this and I'm like, I don't feel like I made a big enough deal about this. So the night we went out and played roulette, well, you were playing other stuff, but it's not like I won every single round, but I never left a table lower than what I started. So I started with $100 and every single time I played, I was always up. And again, like I would lose an occasional round here and there. I'm not totally psychic, but I never walked away lower. Then when I cashed out, I only walked home with $75. And I was like, how did I leave with $75 when I started with $100? In my last game, I was on the end of the table, which I hate being at the end. I always like being up by the wheel. I have my reasons. And I actually said out loud, well, this sucks. Where do I put like my bag? And I put it stupidly on the chair behind me and my back was entirely to it. I said out loud, well, this is dumb. Like, someone's going to totally take something out of my bag. I don't know why I didn't just like because you can't put your bag on the table. There's all the rules.
Right.
And I think I was afraid of like breaking the rules. So I put it behind me, and my only thought is that someone came by, and I don't know why they didn't just take the whole bag. But
well, because that would be too obvious. Then you'd be like really stressed, and like, because then they have your phone, they have like all your credit cards, all the things, like then you'd be really stressed and really trying to find it and get it back. Whereas like if they just take a couple chips, it's annoying, but it's like, how are you gonna find that? You're not.
Yeah, I think they easily stole $100 from me. So yeah, there's gonna be a documentary made about me.
But to sum up, even though she doesn't have the money to show for it, she is psychic. Like, it was really beautiful to watch.
And I almost died on the way home. So I mean, there's a lot to stress about. God, I was burglarized. I almost died. There is gonna be a documentary about me.
Yeah. So overall, I think those are like my main call outs as far as the guys. Like we said, I mean, there really wasn't like much drama to unpack for night one. And but like to your point, Stefanie, you were saying, you know, you really feel like you know a lot of the guys' names and you know a lot of their backstories. And like, I think that's true because there was no drama. Like, I think this whole 2-hour episode was focused on just like getting to know these guys. And I'm excited to like get to know them more and get to know like which ones we're really going to focus on and like deep dive into. Like, I love my golden ladies so much. And I'm so excited for like my golden boys.
I know. And like when they get together though.
Yeah.
Because there's so obviously not everyone's going to end up with Joan. So whoever doesn't could potentially go out with like Leslie or Susan if she dumps the Marshalls guy or.
They need to do a golden paradise. I swear to God.
I think they will.
Will they?
I really do.
All the good ideas we come up with and they don't listen to us.
I know. But all right. Can we talk about the Devin Bombshell?
Yes, we can.
First and foremost, go check out Reality Steve's video on YouTube. He breaks down this wild bombshell that he uncovered about Devin.
So basically it came out that Devin has a restraining order that was filed against him by his ex-girlfriend from college. It also came out that he at some point like burglarized her house and apparently stole back a necklace that he had given her. Also, you told me this, but I didn't see it in the article that he choked her too. Was it physical?
Okay. Here's the thing. So Reality Steve uncovered the restraining order that was public knowledge. So he was arrested on accusations that he burglarized an ex-girlfriend's Louisiana home in 2017. The ex-girlfriend got a restraining order against him. He lit the restraining order on fire in front of her house, which...
Psychotic.
That right there. I just can't get over how duped I feel from this man. And I feel like it was Courtney Robertson on her podcast. She said, like, it's not like this is Chad Johnson, that someone like was trying to be the villain. It's someone who enjoys being the villain. This was someone who was really selling himself as like America's sweetheart. And to go from everyone rallying behind this guy to you're someone that's lit a restraining order on fire in front of the person that issued it. How I feel like my judgment of character is off.
No, that's not. We can't blame ourselves in this situation. Like, we were duped. I don't know if we were duped by the edit or we were duped by him specifically. We were duped. And it is crazy to think that he is so different from the person that we saw on television and the person that we were like rooting for Jen to be with. Like, I was so excited for her to be with Devin. I was like, he's perfect. How could you possibly love Marcus when Devin is right there and he's willing to like give you the world? Little did we know that he's just like not. And it brings up a bigger conversation that a lot of people are talking about. Like, how are these people getting cast on the show? You're supposed to be doing background checks on these people. And it's like, I get that they want to cast like interesting characters for drama, but this is like someone who has a history of like dangerous behavior. And you're going to like put Jen alone in a fantasy suite with someone like that. Like, he should have never been on the show with a history like that. And it's just like dangerous and scary that they don't really... I don't know if it's that they like just aren't looking into these things well enough or they just like saw that and didn't care. Because it's not like Devin was cast for like drama. It's not like he was some character that they're like, oh yeah, like let's get him on the show. Like, he was just a guy. So it makes me think they're just like not looking and they're just casting randos. And that is like really scary in this day and age.
Right. Well, also like if Steve was able to find this and Steve just covers the show, he's not someone that... you know, they said they do an exhaustive background check. Like, how is this exhaustive? This is like barely sleepy. This is, you know, you're really not doing your due diligence here. So the restraining order took out against him was later sealed. That's why they're claiming they didn't see it. But the burglary arrest affidavit, which discusses the restraining order, is public record. So if they really were doing an exhaustive job, they would have read the burglary file and seen that he has a restraining order, and then could potentially look more into the restraining order.
Well, has anyone talked to the girlfriend?
No. And so obviously we respect her privacy. Steve has tried to message her. She's not interested in coming public, which is totally fine. I think the real message is just to ABC, you really need to be doing better, Stephanie Parker, and taking care of your leads better. Because what if Jen had ended up with him and things were fine, and then that put her in a dangerous position down the road?
Totally.
Given the fact that Devin issued his apology to Jen on Instagram, which we all know how that went with his 13-minute short film, like, I don't think he's gonna speak again. Like, I think he's just, which I don't think he should. I don't really think there's much he can say. I think ABC should probably issue a statement and say that they're going to be doing a more thorough job moving forward.
Yeah. What if he made another short film trying to defend himself?
I think he saw how badly it went the first time, and he wouldn't. I don't know who's advising him on his end, so you never know what's going to come. There's already some rumblings that someone on Jones' season may have a restraining order. That hasn't been confirmed yet, so I don't want to, reveal who said what or whatever. But the fact that this is still happening is really unsettling. And it also makes me wonder, like, are there people from previous seasons that have this type of background and it just went unnoticed? Like, Devin clearly thought this was going to go unnoticed. It went unnoticed for a very long time. The fact that it didn't come out during his season says a lot. No one was looking into it.
No, I know. Wasn't there something with someone on Becca's season that there was, I think it was Lincoln.
Lincoln. Yeah.
I don't want to misspeak or say some sort of violent history or restraining order or something along those lines.
Yeah, so it's not the first.
Wait, so to wrap up on a happy note, should I get Holly, because me and Joan both share a dog named Holly. And by that I mean we don't literally share the same dog. Like, we're not co-parenting this dog, but we both have dogs named Holly. And I'm like, as in honor of our first video episode, you guys should see how cute Holly is.
So if you're listening and you want to come see the YouTube episode, please come over here and go get Holly.
That's a good hack. All right, hold on. She's on the couch. I need to get up and get her. BRB.
Okay, so Jackie's going to get Holly. Again, I'm just going to remind you guys to come over to YouTube and just hit subscribe. It would really make me happy. It would make my day. Sometimes you ask what you guys can do to help. I always say just listen to the episode, share the episode. Now I'm going to say, listen to the episode, share the episode, but then also go check it out on YouTube and like it.
Dun, 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 dun.
Holly.
Here she is, boys.
Holly, do you have anything to say?
Lady Holly. Holly, what do you think about Joan's season?
Well, I like that the dog is named after me. I think that wraps up everything we're going to get to today. Thank you guys so much for listening. And if you're watching, thanks for watching. Be nice in the comments. Don't be mean. It's just not nice. Okay.
So true.
Even if your name is Lauren or Greg or Jonathan or anyone else that we may have offended.
Good fun. It's fine. Look at this dog. Be happy. Yeah. Literally, Holly was born for show business. How do I get her on commercials?
I mean, this is our first step. She's being seen by the public right now.
So true. This is her debut. All
right. Well, is that it, Jackie?
I think that's it.
Bye, bitches.